Go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch on 25th and Lex. Tonight, we have the Baruch Bearcats against the College of Old Westbury Panthers, and in a great matchup between two first-place teams right now, your defending Skyline champion Panthers and your defending CUNYAC Conference finalist, the Baruch Bearcats. I'd like to bring in the rest of my team right now, Jamal Chapman and Sergio Garneau. And boy, what a game we have tonight between another great test for Baruch again, coming off a win this past weekend in the tournament as well as last week in Birmingham Southern. But Jamal, what did you see after going over some of the footage from the Western New York tournament that Baruch was able to take away the title this weekend?
Well, Dave, I'm glad you asked that. During the Western New York tournament, you seen Baruch. They go for the first game. They played Goucher, and they actually forced 15 turnovers that game, leading to 26 points, and they won that game 74-48. And in that game, Chimaechi Akekobar scored 18 points and 7 boards and joined the illustrious 1,000-point club of Baruch. William Sixsmith also contributed 12 points with 4 3-pointers. And the point guards played a clean game with only allowing 3 turnovers, with Dorian Isaac having 2 and Anthony Gibbs posting 1. Now in the second game, it was a little close. They played the Medio Mavericks, and they won that game 66-64. Chimaechi Akekobar came in, and he averaged a double-double, posting 18 points and 14 rebounds. William Sixsmith also contributed by posting 16 points and also 4 3-pointers again. But the game was close because the Baruch Bear point guards had 9 turnovers combined between Anthony Gibbs and Dorian Isaac. So that was kind of the keys towards the games, and they came away with the tournament with Chimaechi Akekobar winning MVP honors and William Sixsmith being named all-team tournament.
Yeah, William Sixsmith and Akekobar are going to be big because of the fact that you're going to need to play well against this Old Westbury team, Serge. We've seen Old Westbury, that we see them being defending Skyline champions, and they have one of the best players in the league.
Well, yeah, like you said, Dave, this is not going to be an easy task tonight for the Bearcats. This Old Westbury team, like you said, defending Skyline champions, posting a 19-9 record overall, 16-4 within the conference, a winning percentage of .800, and a lot of it falls on the shoulders of their leading scorer, Jamel Stanley, I believe his name is, scoring 22, sometimes 23 points a game. And their second leading scorer, Lyle Rawls, also with 12 points, going to be a very, very big factor tonight as to how successful this Old Westbury team is going to be. So I think that the Bearcats do have their hands full tonight, so long as we limit the turnovers, play good defense, and get their guys going. They should be in good shape.
And we are about 7 minutes away from the first televised broadcast of Baruch Bearcats basketball, streaming simulcast on both YouTube, on Bearcats Athletics Fan, and also WBMB Biz 590 AM. Now, Jamal, you mentioned off the top that it came down in the tournament this past weekend. It came down to Sixsmith really playing well off the bench, limiting the turnovers from the point guard play, and of course, the big fella, Chima Akekobar, dominating the way we've seen him been accustomed to in the past.
Yeah.
How do you see maybe some of the bench play helping us out tonight? And also, we spoke with Chima Akekobar last week, and he said guys like Alan Villar, Georgios Zavos, and even George Smith Jr. have been huge in his transition moving into this year and being able to play more of the 4.
Right. And it's funny you bring up Alan Villar. He actually had 11 points and 8 rebounds in the first game, and he played very well. So I'm looking for him to come off the bench and provide an added punch. He's coming in at 6'7", and the tallest player on Old Westbury is 6'5". So I'm looking for them to utilize him down in the paint and feed the big man early and often.
I just want to add to what Jamal is saying. I think that's definitely going to be huge for Chima Akekobar. We saw last season, a lot of the weight fell on his shoulders to play the 4 almost the whole 40 minutes. And, now we take that pressure off of him. Now we really put him in a position to perform, and hopefully that's going to translate into the team's success.
Yeah, and also we mentioned off the top of the show that the Baruch Bearcats are going to have to limit their turnovers tonight. Yes. We saw a lot of turnovers last week against Birmingham Southern, ended in a 4-point victory in a very back-and-forth game between Baruch and Birmingham. Now, right now, starting point guard Dorian Isaac's averaging 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. I think he has to be a lot more protective of the ball. And also, Jamal, you mentioned that Anthony Gibbs was a little bit careless in the second game.
Yes.
In total, I think that's going to be one of the huge keys moving forward in terms of Baruch trying to pull out a victory against what is arguably, I think they've started with very hard games at home in back-to-back weeks. You're talking about Birmingham Southern last week and now Old Westbury this week.
Yeah, you see when they limit you see when only the Bearcats point guards only had a total of 3 turnovers. You see they won the game by 26 points. And when they have more than 5 turnovers, a combined 9 in the second game of the tournament, they only won by 2 points. And last week's game, with a lot of turnovers, the game ended very close. So if they limit the turnovers and play a clean game, they could come out on top, and that's the most important thing.
We are 4 minutes away from, once again, the first simulcast of Baruch basketball, both on YouTube and 590 AM. Now, Serge, you mentioned on top of the show, on top of the pregame, that we have a smaller team in College of Old Westbury, more skilled in the guard position. How do you see that some of our bigs can take advantage of that? And also, what does this mean for Ek-Ekabar in a key early season matchup?
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to the interview that we actually had with Chimechi Ek-Ekabar last week, where he said that, comparing himself to the other bigs on the other side of the court, he's going to have to be able to make sure that he doesn't allow them to outscore him. I think that is going to play a huge factor in this, in the utilization of both teams' bigs.
Coach Alisi's 5th year with the club. I think by far this is the deepest team that he's had since he started. I mean, if you look at it this year, we brought in 8 freshmen, 5 of which being 6'5" or taller. We talked about it last week that the depth really does help the team in terms of some of the pressure. But also we're now seeing that they could also go 9, 10, 11 guys deep off the bench, where last few years it's really impeded the progress of Baruch. You've relied, like you said, Serge, so much on Chimo Ek-Ekabar that now moving forward, I think you're going to have a really good chance to expand your bench and also take some weight off of him.
Well, I agree. That was the most important thing down the stretch last season. You've seen that Chima Echi was playing so many minutes, close to 40 a game.
Right.
And now that we can reduce those minutes, spell them a little bit with some of the big men, allow them to grow, allow them to play, because he's going to soon be gone from the program. So, it's best to start getting the young guys in, but also for them to lean on him in the crucial moments. And that'll only come by spelling him out throughout the game and allowing him to get some rest.
And I think they're really in a good position to succeed this season, only because, like we said, this is probably the deepest team they've had. Don't forget, they actually won a CUNYAC championship 2 years ago with the limited staff. So I think that now more than ever, it's a very, very good situation for the Bearcats.
And we talked about it last week in our coverage of the Birmingham Southern game, Jamal, that we had very high hopes for this team, very optimistic, mostly because of the deep bench, the returning of what we call our star players, being Doyen Isaac and Chima Ek-Ekabar. And after a 3-0 start, I think our expectations have only been raised, if not enhanced.
Yes, we're looking for them to go deep and make a run, just like Chima came on the show last week and he talked about the goal for the team this year is to win the CUNYAC championship. Nothing short of that would be a successful season.
Yep, and I think that's, those are the standards for this season.
Yes.
I think that with the limited staff they had 2 years ago, they were able to win. They should expect of themselves to be able to win this season.
Yeah, so I think for our point of view, definitely coming into the season, we thought at minimum we should have a CUNY championship run, and we should be looking for hopefully some NCAA tournament action later on in the season. But we still have a lot of basketball to play, and tonight we get a very stiff competition in the College of Old Westbury Panthers, the defending Skyline champions. We are a minute away from Bearcats basketball on both 590 AM as well as the YouTube stream, Baruch Athletic Fan. Jamal, real quick, I know we only have a minute left. How about some of the keys to the game tonight? All
right, keys to the game for the Bearcats. Limit the turnovers. As long as Doyen Isaac and Anthony Gibbs can control the ball, handle the ball, and limit their turnovers and keep them low, the Bearcats have a great chance of winning. Also, Jamel Stanley from Old Westbury, he's going to get his points. And it's key and vital that you stop everybody else, because Jamel Stanley is going to score, and you're going to live with that. But if you could stop everybody else, that's going to be the key to the game. And also, feeding the big men. Alan Villar is a player that I've been looking at ever since the first game, and I'm really going to see how far he comes along this season. But so far, he's been playing big for the Bearcats, and as their new big man, I look forward to see what they do for him in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think limiting turnovers is key. Obviously, Stanley's going to get his preseason All-American for a reason. However, to your point, yeah, the bigs are going to have to come in, take, again, pressure off Chima Ek-Ekabar and give a little bit on the offensive end. I think this is a great game for some of the young freshman bigs to really shine because of the fact that they don't have that much height, like Serge alluded to.
Yeah.
We are 9 seconds away from Baruch Bearcats basketball on YouTube and both 590 AM. I'm going to hand it over now to the PA announcer as we get ready for the national anthem.
ask everyone to please stand and to remove their caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Excellent, and we are moments away here from the opening tip-off between the Baruch Bearcats and the Old Westbury Panthers. What a game we have tonight as the defending Skyline champion Panthers come to the Arc Arena to visit your Baruch Bearcats. We'll get to the lineups for you in just a second. Just a reminder, the Baruch Student Athletic Advisory Committee, or SAC, is hosting a 3-on-3 basketball event to help fundraise for the Special Olympics. Cost per team is $10, and the event will take place during club hours on Thursday, December 1st from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. If you want to sign up, please come to the Fitness Center. Deadline is November 30th. It's for a good cause, though, towards the Special Olympics. So your starting lineup tonight for the Bearcats. Bryler Page at guard, number 2, sophomore, one of the team captains. Guard William Sixsmith, starting out of Holy Trinity on Long Island, starting at the off guard. Doyen Isaac will be starting point guard tonight as Baruch runs their normal 3-guard, 2-forward lineup. At power forward, at number 22, George Smith Jr., and at center, number 32, the big fella, Chima Ekekabar, and for the college at Old Westbury, number 0, Stephen Ottle is at the guard. Number 3, Jamal Stanley, the man that we mentioned so many times in the pregame show, will be at the other guard. At forward, number 5, Lyle Rials, senior from Mohegan Lake, New York. Starting at the other forward, Bradley Eugene Jr. from St. Albans, New York. And finally, starting at center, number 24, Stanley Baker, 6'5", out of Manhattan, New York. So we are moments away from tip-off here at the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch College, 25th and Lex in Manhattan. College of Old Westbury wearing their green away jerseys with the white trim. They will be going. They'll be going right to left, I believe, to start the game, and Baruch will be wearing their white jerseys with the dark blue trim, the light blue piping. They'll be going left to right, as it is Ekekabar and Baker for the tip. And we are underway with Chima Ekekabar getting the tip, and now Doyen Isaac has it in the backcourt. He'll walk it across for the Bearcats. He's on right wing. He bounced past to Sixsmith up top. Waiting for the play to develop. Almost gets it knocked away by Stanley. It's up to Bryler Page now. Bryler Page getting covered by Riles. One-on-one, about 30 feet from the hoop. Crossover move, driving right. Pull-up jumper. That's nothing. Doesn't hit anything. Goes off, rebounded by Stanley, and it'll come the other way. As Odell brings it up front court for College of Old Westbury. He gives it inside to Baker. Baker looking around, gives it back to Odell, almost throws it into the backcourt, but he's able to save it as it comes by. Doyen Isaac checks up on him. Odell crossover move, getting to the lane. Nice little off-glass move, not able to finish though as it hits off rim. Chima Ekekabar comes away with it, and he'll push into the front court, and he slows it down. Gives up to Sixsmith. Dorian Isaac now right wing. Little ball fake, able to get into the rim. He's fouled, then off glass, no good, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Dorian Isaac, nice little move there with the left hand.
Very important that the fouls that they do get, they can capitalize on that. I think a lot of the problems that came around last year were that they missed a lot of free throws. I think, stopping the clock, getting some points couldn't hurt them.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Sergio. And that's one of the keys to the game. I mean, that's one of the things that makes them great. Their ability to dribble drive and get into the lane and draw the foul and even kick out for the three-point shooter.
I think that's also going to be very important today because of the fact that they're lacking a little height on the College of Westbury side. Like we said, their tallest guy is at 6'5". Their starting center, Stanley Baker. So if they can get into the lane, create a little mismatch, they could probably get up and over some of these guys as well, as Dorian Isaac hits both free throws, and Stephen Odell will bring it into the front court for the College of Westbury. Gives off to Jamel Stanley, who swings it around to Bradley Eugene. Now gives it over to Lyle Riles. Back to Baker. And he moves his feet, and that's going to be a travel. Too many steps for Stanley Baker, and it'll go back to Baruch. The coach of SUNY College at Old Westbury tonight is Bernard Tomlin, and the coach of your Bearcats is John Alisi. Bryler Page has it now left wing, gives it up the top to Chimak Ekabar. Waiting for the play to develop, hand off to Dorian Isaac. He drives right into the lane, bounce past George Smith. George Smith jumper, and that's good. Something we didn't see from George Smith last week, Jamal. Nice little baseline jumper in mid-range and able to knock it down. Hopefully we'll see some more of that tonight.
Right, really opening up his game is a new part of his game that we're going to actually see, and hopefully he can stick to it,
So now Odell into the paint. Wild shot, not able to do anything with it. Goes off glass, and Dorian Isaac comes away with it, and he'll push into the front court. Quick to Sixsmith, right onto Ekabar. Ekabar can't finish. Gets his own rebound. Misses again. Ooh, man. You don't see that out of Chima, and a slow start last week for him, and we talked about that during midweek last week. Definitely wants his starts to be a little quicker as Lyle Riles gets the ball now back over to Stephen Odell. And he'll slow it up on left wing and call out the play. Back to Riles now, left corner. Quickly swings it around to Odell, back over to Baker. Baker, nice little spin move. Gets it taken away from him. Dorian Isaac coming back the other way. A little fast back, bounce pass to Ekabar. Nice finish off the glass, and he atones for his recent shot right there. It is now 6-0 Baruch. And with 17:38, Coach Tomlin wants a timeout and talk it over for Old Westbury. But here in the early going, guys, you got to like what they're doing. They're getting to the rim a lot in the early going, and that has to be something that Coach Alisi preached early on, because we didn't see this that much last week when we saw them against Birmingham Southern.
And not only that, we mentioned one of the keys to the game was to limit the turnovers. Well, we actually saw Dorian Isaac actually get one of the turnovers in Baruch's favor. So I think that definitely contributes to their 6-0 lead. Getting to the foul line, I think so far from what we've seen in these brief 2 minutes, they're doing everything right.
Yeah, I agree with you, Serge. I think the fact that we touched on it a little bit in the pregame, they don't really have too much size. So if you can get in there, you're going to be able to get some open looks and definitely create some contact. And also, if you can get Stanley Baker, or if they even play with freshman Ethan Bevan, who's their other 6'5", or Shane Smith, who's also 6'5", those are probably their 3 bigs. If they could play either of those, if they play those guys and they can get any of them into foul trouble, I think it'll look good for Baruch moving forward. So as they break the huddle, a quick start for Baruch, and this is something we didn't see last week. We saw a very back-and-forth game, but it's nice to see Baruch really come out early on and create a little offense in the early going.
Yeah, they're not letting up against Old Westbury, and Old Westbury is playing uncharacteristic. Already 2 turnovers, and Baruch is already capitalizing.
So now Odell has it up top. He gives it off to Stanley. Jamel Stanley, preseason All-American, now swings it around to number 5, Lyle Riles. 3-pointer, Stephen Odell, that's off front rim, bouncing off 2 legs underneath, and the refs are going to have to discuss it.
Yeah.
They're saying it's Baruch basketball, but I think it went off George Smith Jr.'s leg last.
I agree with you on that one. It looked like it rolled right off his knee at the last second.
And the refs will swing it back to College of Old Westbury. And they'll take it out underneath with Odell to inbound for the Panthers. Looking for trying to get Jamel Stanley open underneath, trying to post him up. He's posting on Bryler Page. Double team quickly comes with Isaac. And now he needs some movement. He's trapped there in the corner. Baker gets it, and now it's up top to Riles, who's covered up by Sixsmith. He's going to take a pick right from Baker. Uses the pick. Gives it off to Odell in the corner. Swings it back to Riles. Riles getting hacked from behind from Sixsmith, and this will be a side out.
Yeah, Sixsmith not liking that call. You see the look on his face. Very content with that one. Didn't think he made any real contact there, but.
And it'll be the Panthers' ball underneath. Odell waiting to inbound. He gives it off to Riles. Riles pump fake. Has Sixsmith on him again. quickly swung around to Odell, right wing. He takes a pick, gives it off to Baker. Baker swings it around to Riles. Riles going to drive, little crossover move, step back jumper on Sixsmith, and that doesn't hit anything, and it's going to go out of bounds back to Baruch.
Very good defensive sequence before the foul and after the foul. They doubled Stanley at the baseline, and they were able to get back and to close out on the open defender. And now they had to getting the ball back on the turnover.
So Dorian Isaac has it now, gives it up to Chimak Ekabar. Sixsmith has it left wing, and he'll give it off to Dorian Isaac. Dorian Isaac, right wing three, will open. Off front rim, Chima fighting for the rebound, taken away by Jamel Stanley, and he'll push into the front court. Moves right to left, quickly into the lane, and that's going to be a blocking foul. Oh no, it looks like it's going to be the other ref comes in and calls it a charge, and I think it's going to go to Baruch. Nice play there by Dorian Isaac to set his feet.
Yeah, that play could have went either way. It was a bang-bang play, and he got the call. Good job by Dorian Isaac with taking the foul.
If you notice on the way back, Dorian Isaac was sticking his arm out, trying to distance himself from the charging Old Westburian, trying to limit the penalization against him.
And Sixsmith pushes in the front, gives it to Ekabar in the corner, quickly swung around to Isaac. Now Isaac's going to drive, gives it to Ekabar, left corner three, and he hits. Actually, you're going to say his foot was on the line, so it's going to be a 2, and it's going to be 8-0 Baruch early and going. Now it's Odell into Stanley. Stanley pull-up jumper, around and out, rebounded by number 20. Bradley Eugene misses, fighting underneath, and that gets to Baker. He misses a layup again, and now it's going to be George Smith Jr. who comes away with it. What a sequence of defense right there from Baruch, and they're getting at it early as Dorian Isaac brings it into the front court, gives it to Ekabar, swings it around to Bryler Page. Bryler Page coming back from the ACL last year, having a great start to the season. Chimak Ekabar has it now one-on-one with Eugene. Spin move, gets him in the air. Able to finish off glass. Chimak Ekabar too strong right there for the big junior from Westbury, Bradley Eugene, and now Baruch takes a 10-0 lead with 15.5 remaining here. Lyle Riles has it, and you can hear the crowd getting out loud. Bradley Eugene has it. He gives it back up to Jamel Stanley. Stanley, little crossover move, step back three. That's barely grazes the front rim, and Dorian Isaac comes away with it. And there he's able to push quickly into the lane, and he tries to go with the left hand, can't finish. What a move, though, by Dorian Isaac. They're getting into the paint, and you have to like that. Lyle Riles coming the other way. Three ball, that's off, and here comes Ekabar. He gets the rebound, and he'll push quickly to Dorian Isaac into the front court. Dorian Isaac going straight to the hoop. Foul, and that will be... I think we're waiting for the call. Looks like it's going to be a charge coming the other way. So as Dorian Isaac takes the charge on the other half, he gets called for the charge on that one. I got to be honest, it did not look like the defender's feet were planted.
Although it did not look like a charge, I want to give credit to the Baruch offense for remaining aggressive and getting to the rim. Chima has been playing good so far and staying aggressive. 6 points already in the opening with 3 rebounds.
And how about this defense? We're already 5-6 minutes into the game. They haven't. Old Westbury has not scored yet. With some of the big men that they have, who definitely can shoot the basketball, you'd be surprised that the defense is performing this well.
And as you're saying that, Stanley Baker misses a 7-footer. However, Baruch turned the ball over, coming back left to right, trying to push it. Ekabar tried to give it up to William Sixsmith, unable to do so there, and as it goes out of bounds. Now some substitutions. Shane Smith, the sophomore for SUNY-Old Westbury, just checks in, and Terran Rowland Jr. out of Jamaica, New York, checks in for Old Westbury as well. Very interesting. We were talking about if some of the height would come in, and we see number 21, Shane Smith, one of their tall guys at 6'5".
And you see Baruch is combating that by always staying out and getting out and wanting to run as soon as they get the rebound on every possession.
So Riles misses a 3, rebound fought. He gets his own rebound, actually. Jamel Stanley has it now, and Dorian Isaac will be on him. Odell has it for the Panthers. Left hand, can't finish, and another rebound by Sixsmith. He comes away with it, and Baruch once again playing some tight-knit defense. We're about 6 minutes in, and they have yet to let up any points. 10-0 Baruch lead at the 14-minute mark. Dorian Isaac quickly around, swing it to Sixsmith. Sixsmith, deep 3, left wing, 3 ball, William Sixsmith. Quickly the other way, though, as Rollins has Sixsmith on him. He'll give it off to Odell, who quickly swings around number 5, Lyle Riles. Now Jamel Stanley trying to drive against the 4 people, getting up, shoots an air ball. Stephen Odell on the offensive board, though. He can't finish. They're fighting underneath it. You got to like the defensive tenacity, and here come Baruch coming the other way. William Sixsmith into the front court, and he slows it down. Dorian Isaac will take it up top, and he'll call out Coach Alisi's plays now. Takes the pick from Ekabar. Ekabar straight away 3, wide open, off back rim, fighting for the rebound, and Lyle Riles comes away with it. Gives it up to Terran Rowland. Rowland slows it up. And he calls out some of the plays for Coach Tomlin on the Panthers side. And he draws a double team, quick pass to Lyle Riles. 3-ball, that's off back rim, and they seem very cold today, already starting 0 for 14 in the early going. And Chima gets double teamed after the rebound, but he gives up to Dorian Isaac, who brings it into the front court. Blows by Smith. Corner gives it to Six-Smith. Six-Smith 3. That's off rim. Fought for the rebound there. Jamel Stanley, who's actually been pretty impressive on the board so far. He gets the ball taken away from him by Six-Smith. And Six-Smith, to hear him, the coaches scream, slow it down, as it's going to be a 1-on-3, and he slows it up as Dorian Isaac now gets it on the center court, and he will call out the plays. Now Bryler Page has a right wing. Gives up to Ekekabar, straight away 2. He knocks it down. Nice jumper there by Chima Ekekabar, 15-0. And as the Bearcats are ready to make subs, they're playing a great game so far. After 7.5 minutes, Bearcats lead 15-0. You're listening to Baruch Bearcat basketball on both 590 AM as well as YouTube on Baruch Athletic Fan. That is the channel, Baruch Athletic Fan.
Dave, I have to say, Ekekabar and Six-Smith are continuing their play from the tournament, and they're carrying it over to tonight with the 3-point already from Six-Smith, and Ekekabar already put in 8 points and 6 rebounds with him on the way to eventually at the end of the night gaining a double-double.
Yeah, I think, Chima Ekekabar is playing the way he normally plays, and he's just having a nice dominant game so far. He's doing a little bit of everything. Obviously, again, early on, we saw, he has 8 points, already 6 boards here in the first 7.5 minutes. Double-double. He's on pace for 20-20 tonight.
Yeah.
I think he's on pace for a monster game, 4 for 7 in the early going. And even then, he should probably be 6 for 7 because we saw on the same play he missed 2 layups from close proximity. And normally I think we'll see him finish that. It's also just the second or third game of the season. We saw a little bit against Birmingham Southern, and you almost want to wonder where's the hometown bounce,
Right. And another thing that's not going to show up on the stat sheet is their defensive tenacity. Right now, they're playing, they're fighting, they're battling. Even though the size is against them, they're using their speed to go get to the loose balls and get to the basket every time.
Now Taryn Rolland brings it across the court for College of Old Westbury as they move right to left. Jamel Stanley has it now, takes a pick, and now Chima Ekekabar on him. Gives it out to Riles. Riles over to Rowland. 3-ball. That's an air ball, and it'll go out of bounds. And you can see them hanging their heads a little bit on the College of Old Westbury side.
You would think that Old Westbury would kind of work the ball inside, but they've been taking a lot of jump shots outside so far, and that's lead to them not getting any points.
Yeah, and Baruch has made a handful of subs right now for the Bearcats. Dorian Isaac, George Smith Jr., and Bryler Page all sat down as Anthony Gibbs, Alex Matina, and Alan Villar check in. And here comes Alan Villar working in the box. What a move by Alan Villar. Ooh, can't finish. Oh, it's off the rim, though. And here comes Jamel Stanley the other way, right to left. Gives it off to Rolland. Nice little move, but he can't finish again. Baruch's defense again immense. And here comes number 10, Preston Powell, into the lane, and he gets fouled. And Coach Alisi's having a little comment with the referee there. I thought it was hand straight up, but looks like Preston Powell got a little bit of advice for my co-host here, Jamal Chapman.
Yes.
Get into the lane and create a little havoc. And we see that has to be something that Coach Tomlin has told them during the last time out.
But on the other end, great job by Alan Villar, being aggressive, taking his man off the dribble, and almost coming up with the reverse layup. But you got to love the fact that the big men are going to play a vital role for the Baruch Bearcats this season. But that was a tough call on that last play. Very tough call.
And now it's 15-1 as Preston Powell knocks down the first. And he's off on the second as Alan Villar comes away with it. He gives off to Anthony Gibbs. Anthony Gibbs crossover move to get across half court, left to right. Bounce pass inside to Alan Villar. It goes right through his hip, and it'll go out of bounds. Nice positioning, and we saw on the early going that Alan Villar is able to do some stuff in the post here.
Right. On that one, the ball got away from him. They took his eyes off the ball at the last second. Just got to pay attention and be close with that one.
Now Smith has it for the College of Old Westbury. Gives off to Rowland. Rowland gives it back to Smith, elbow jumper, and that's no good. Sorry, that's good, excuse me. And now Anthony Gibbs brings it off in the front court. Gives off to Six-Smith now. Six-Smith working on Rowland. Gives it off to Gibbs. Gibbs tries to drive, gets his reverse layup block, and Jamel Stanley comes the other way. off the glass, and he's able to finish. Ooh, and that could have been offensive goaltending. No basket. As I think it was Shane Smith. I'm not 100% sure there. I couldn't see because he was trailing the play. I think it was Shane Smith who came in and actually looked like he just grabbed the bottom of the net as he was trying to go for, I don't know, it wasn't even a block because it was his own teammate.
Yeah, I think it was some sort of miscommunication. Maybe he was going for the alley-oop. I think poor communication is what cost Old Westbury in that scenario.
So now Anthony Gibbs has it left wing, and that could have been a chance to cut it to a 10-point game, but Baruch still lead by 12. Chimak Ekabar working against Smith, right-handed move, an air ball there, and it'll come back the other way with Jamel Stanley, who quickly gives it up to Preston Powell into the front court. Powell driving off back rim, can't finish, and now it'll be Anthony Gibbs again coming away with it. As we see Shane Smith really interestingly picking him up full court. Alan Villar now going to drive, gives it off to Anthony Gibbs. Anthony Gibbs straight away three. He's able to knock it down, front rim, glass, and in. And Baruch lead 18-3, a little bit over the halfway point of the first half.
And so far, you got to like that the point guards are keeping the game clean. Only one turnover between the two so far.
Now Preston Powell has it up top. Gives it up to Shane Smith. Quickly swings it around to Jamel Stanley, who sounds like he's going to have a long game. Ooh, nice little step back on Ekabar. Can't finish. And as Powell comes in for the rebound, he was unable to grab it, and it'll be Anthony Gibbs. And now it'll be Ekabar left wing three. Ooh, around and out, unable to finish, and it'll be number 10, Preston Powell again. Give it up to Jamel Stanley, and it'll be a travel. Looks like Stanley moved his pivot foot before he put the ball on the ground, and it'll go back to Baruch. Some early poor shooting by Collegeville Westbury on top of the fact that Baruch has been, playing very solid defense, I think, especially in tight, giving Collegeville Westbury a difficult time here in the early first half of the first half.
Right. You see that Jamel Stanley is looking a little frustrated that he's not really getting his baskets tonight.
Nice play by Alan Villar there. He posts up Lyle Rials, and he's able to finish with a little right-handed floater right in the paint. Easy layup for Villar, and that's what you're talking about, Jamal, in the early going. You want to see Villar dominate against some of these smaller-sized bigs for the Collegeville Westbury.
And so far, he's doing it. He's matching their size, and he's taking advantage of it. But Old Westbury right now looks very flat, taking only jump shots and relying on the jump shots and not being able to get to the basket and use their size to their advantage, which they can.
And now Shane Smith at the line for two, and he misses the first. Baruch lead 20-3 with 8:55 remaining. And Shane Smith for the second. 20-3, and this is, we expected a good start for, I think, Baruch tonight, but we did not expect this, as Shane Smith misses the set both, but Jamel Stanley's able to fly in there and get a rebound, gives it right up top to Powell, and who again travels, Old Westbury moving their feet before they put the ball on the ground. Preston Powell on the travel, and it'll go back to Baruch right in front of us as number 13, Dwayne Bridie, has checked into the game.
The pressure looked like it's starting to mount for Old Westbury, being down by 17 points early in this first half.
Now Ekabar has a left elbow. Gives up full court pass to Bridie. Bridie pull-up jumper. That's off, but it's George Smith underneath battling. 1-on-3. Can he save it? No, it hits the baseline, goes out of bounds. But like we saw last week, George Smith he gets after it. He really gets after it, and we see loose balls, and he's going to go for them. Last week we saw him almost dive into the bench, maybe a step or two behind. But we like that type of effort, and once again, that's all that stuff, all that hustle and all that tenacity takes the pressure off Chimak Ekabar.
And that's what you really require from this team, because the big, you have scorers on this team, so the big's going to really have to just play scrappy and just play their role.
Taryn Rowland getting into the lane. Nice move with the left hand, able to keep it low at his waist and able to finish and bring it up top when he gets close to the basket. Inbound to Alex Matina, quickly hands it off to Isaac. Right now, Baruch's going with George Smith, Dwayne Isaac, Chimak Ekabar, Alex Matina, and Dwayne Bridie. Double team comes on Isaac, gives it off to Ekabar. Ekabar also getting the double team, gives it off to Bridie, right corner three. Air ball, and it's going to come the other way. Jamel Stanley pushing into the front court. He goes straight to the hoop. Trying to finish high, can't. George Smith again, though, getting back on defense, coming down with the board and able to save before it goes inbounds. Quickly left to right come Baruch. Gives it off to Dwayne Bridie, swings it quickly around to Ekabar. Ekabar crossover move, gives it off to Dwayne Isaac. Dwayne Isaac corrals the loose ball, bounce pass inside to Smith. Ooh, can't finish. Go off the front rim, but he does go to the line, and he'll get two shots. Baruch lead 20-5 with 7:33 remaining.
You got to love the play from Dwayne Isaac. Going off dribble, trying to get the ball into George Smith, and he almost finished that shot to go for three, but he's going to the line for 1-and-1.
No, two shots, actually. He got caught in the act, and he knocked down the first. For the latest information on Baruch College Athletics, please follow us using Baruch Athletics on Twitter, one word. Check out our Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram, all live sports. Baruch sports coverage will be through our social media platforms as George Smith knocks down them both, giving him his 3rd and 4th points of the evening. And now Terry Rowland brings it into the front court for College of Old Westbury. Gives it up to Odell. Odell back to Rowland. Rowland corner 3. He knocks it down. I think that was the first 3 of the evening for the College of Old Westbury. Yep, shooting so far 1 of 7 from downtown. As Bridie has it now for Baruch. Bounce pass it to the corner for Ekabar. Here comes a double team, but he's able to swing it out to Dorian Isaac. Dorian Isaac tries to quickly swing it to Mattini. He's unable to. Ekabar now corner 3, right side, off rim. And it's going to bounce out of bounds and go the other way. And now Taryn Rowland will bring it up court for College of Old Westbury as William Sixsmith comes to the table to check in for Baruch. He gives it off to Lyle Rials. And they're going to call a trip foul on here on Chimak Ekabar. Very interesting. He looked around, didn't know who was on. I guess it was on him, but it kind of looked like he was already going to ground, and it was almost like a bailout foul there a little bit. As Alex Matina comes to sit down, as well as Dwayne Bridie checking into the game, are both number 2, Bryler Page, and number 3, William Sixsmith. So Baruch has their starting 5 back on. Now Shane Smith has it for College of Old Westbury, and he gets, wow, very interesting play there. Number 11, Taryn Rowland gives it on the post play to Shane Smith, and he gives it right back to him. The thing is, Taryn Rowland didn't come back in bounds yet, and it's going to be out of bounds, goes back to Baruch, and it's going to be a full timeout for Coach Alisi and the Bearcats with 6:42 remaining. Baruch leads 22-8. You're listening to Bearcats basketball simulcast. For the first time, we could say that, guys.
Yes.
Baruch Bearcats simulcast on both YouTube, Baruch Athletic Fan, as well as WBMB 590 AM.
I mean, not to take away from the game, but I just think it feels great to actually we've all been through this project from the beginning. When we were just doing it on the radio. Now we're doing it on the radio and the simulcast. So I just want to say it's been a pleasure and an honor working with you guys, and I look forward to many more days of doing this.
Agreed. From our understanding, every home game moving forward will be on YouTube on the Bearcats channel.
Right.
And, yeah, I have to agree. This started out with just us 3 coming together last year saying we want to do play-by-play, and in just a year of time we're already on televised. And, you know, simulcast with streaming, I think we're very fortunate to be able to do this and get given the opportunity through Baruch Athletics. But, guys, 22-8 here in the first, 14 minutes or so, a little less than 14 minutes, about 13:20 of the first half. And I don't think we expected this. I think we're talking about the defending Skyline champions of the College of Old Westbury. You're talking about a preseason All-American favorite. And right now, Baruch is really limiting his play. Right now, Jamal Stanley is 0 for 5 for no points. He does have 8 boards. And Jamal, to your point, you said that Stanley can get his at the beginning of the game. I think Baruch are even in a lot, as we can see with the scoreboard, but in a lot better position if he gets, very limited, if they limit what he gets in this game.
Right. It puts a lot of pressure on the team and the other players to step up and play big.
And William Sixsmith throws it away there for Baruch. Full court pass to Stephen Odell, left corner 3. That's off. Rebound to come down by Dorian Isaac, and Isaac will bring it left to right. Actually, he'll slow it up as he gets to the half court. He's picked up by number 5, Lyle Rials. Gives it out to Ekabar, cutting back door, nice finish. Dorian Isaac, nice play there to give it to a cutting back door. Chima Ekabar, he now has 10 and 6 in 14 minutes of play, and Dorian Isaac himself has 2 and 4 assists and 3 boards, having a nice well-rounded game. As number 11, Taryn Rowland hits a baseline jumper, coming back right the other way to get the 2 points back. 24-10, a little under 6 minutes left here in this half. As Baruch throws it away, it looked like Sixsmith was trying to throw it back almost to Dorian Isaac. He throws it away, and it'll be number 0, Stephen Odell, coming in as Alex Matina comes to the bench to check back in. But it'll be Dorian Isaac bringing it left to right now. He throws it up court to Chimak Ekabar. Gives it back to Sixsmith, swings it around quickly to Bryler Page. Bryler Page, we're off right rim, and here comes Stephen Odell, brings it up, gives it off to number 11, Taryn Rowland, and Rowland brings it into the front court, going quickly at Isaac, right into the paint, unable to finish. Dorian Isaac gets a rebound, his 5th, and he'll go quickly left to right. Dorian Isaac pushes it back into the paint himself, trying to finish the left hand, unable to do so. It's going to go out of bounds last. They're going to say off George Smith Jr., and it'll be back to the Panthers as William Sixsmith will come to the bench, making way for Alex Matina.
Yeah, I think on that last play, Dorian Isaac looked like he was going a little bit more for the foul. As he came up late, he just kind of flipped up the ball at the rim. didn't kind of follow through on that layup there.
Right, I think he was waiting for contact that just never came.
Yeah.
Stephen Odell has it now for Westbury in the front court. Gives it off to number 20, Bradley Eugene. Trying to find Jamel Stanley, the go-to guy so far the last few seasons, but to no effect tonight so far. Stephen Odell has it now. Nice spin move. He gets double-teamed, trying to find out the open man. It's going to be Taryn Rowland straight away, but he has Isaac on him. Stephen Odell now takes a pick from Rowland. Back out to Rowland. Deep three. That's going to be an NBA three if he hits. He doesn't, though. Alex Matina comes away with the rebound, secures it tightly, and gives it off to Dorian Isaac, who brings it into the front court.
I'm interested to see how the Bearcats work in Alex Matina into the offense.
Bounce pass to George Smith. Bryler Page cutting now. Nice play. Blocking foul, and it's going to be Bryler Page going to the line. Foul is on number 21, Shane Smith.
Kind of makes you nervous a little bit there. He fell on the side where he's got that knee brace on from the ACL injury. To say he's all better, but of course, watching the game, you can't help but feel a little worried every time a guy like that goes down on the ground. Luckily, he's okay. He'll be taking his 2 shots.
Bryler Page coming back from an ACL tear last year in his freshman season, and now he's able to come back and just jump back to the starting lineup. You could understand also that the team has respect for him as a sophomore. He's one of the team captains, so Coach Alisi has respect for him. The team has respect for him, and that shows what you mean when you miss that much time and able to come back and become a captain as he knocks down both free throws there to make it 26-12. Baruch lead with 4.5 minutes to go. Over number 20, Bradley Eugene. Swings around to Stanley, up top now to Rowland. Rowland gets Ekabar in the air, but now he gets double-teamed. Shane Smith back out to Rowland. And he's been pretty good in the one-on-one scenario so far tonight. He's been able to hit that knockdown at 3 as well as get into the paint and create some havoc. He takes a pick from Bradley Eugene, quick. Wow, another up and under, tries to finish. He can't, though, and it'll be Bryler Page that comes away with it as he tries to go. Ooh, nice little crossover move there. He goes straight into the lane, and he's fouled by number 0, Stephen Odell. Nice move there on Shane Smith. I thought Smith had position. He kind of turned him around a little bit and was able to get him right into the lane.
Right.
As Bryler Page will go to the line. Holiday season is coming up, so the Baruch SAC is hosting a special coat and blanket drive for the holiday season. For a good cause, you can drop off your items at the athletic department, or there's going to be plenty of opportunities to drop off coats and blankets in many areas around campus. We appreciate your support. If you're able to come out or drop off coats, or if you know someone that goes to the school and have some extra coats or blankets, give it to them. It definitely helps a good cause as Bryler Page knocks down the first. And he's off on the second as Bradley Eugene takes away the rebound. He'll give it quickly to Stephen Odell, who brings it into the front court. Dorian Isaac picks him up. Hand off to Powell, gives quickly over to Stanley. Stanley now has Bryler Page on him. He tries to give it inside to Smith. Nice play there, drawing the double team underneath and gives it off to Shane Smith. Draw the double team from George Smith and gives it off to Shane Smith. Isaac now gives up to Matina. I see they're doing a little bit of a half-court trap a little bit here in the late first half, and it's giving Baruch a little bit of more of a problem. George Smith has it, almost gets it knocked away from him. Bryler Page over to Dorian Isaac, trying to bounce it inside to George Smith, and here comes some of the turnovers that we needed Baruch to avoid, and now be Powell coming the other way. He gives it off to Jamel Stanley. Stanley, step-back jumper. Nice move, mid-range step-back jumper on the left baseline, and he's able to knock it down.
It was nice for Jamel Stanley to capitalize on that last play. You see Dorian Isaac try to get ready and throw that inbounds pass to Smith, but the Wold Westbury is ready for that on the last play.
Now Matina has it left wing. Gives off to Bryler Page, right wing, bounce pass it to the corner. Back, full court pass to Matina. Matina is going to shoot a 3. That's going to go off back rim, high rebound. Jamel Stanley, another board, and I thought we were going to have a little bit better advantage, but Jamel Stanley's definitely shown a little bit what he could do on the defensive end. Ooh, nice play there by George Smith Jr. Stephen Odell trying to go right into the lane, and George Smith denies him pretty much two-handed block. Chimak Ekabar going right the other way and able to knock down an elbow jumper. Chimak Ekabar, his 12th point on 6 of 12 shooting, as Stephen Odell brings it up for the College of Westbury Panthers. Gives off to Preston Powell, gives it off to Shane Smith, back to Odell now left corner. He comes into the paint, left elbow jumper, knocks it down. That was actually a pretty stroke there by Stephen Odell. You see Coach Alisi doesn't understand how much he has that much space, talking to some of his assistants, and as we can see, Anthony Gibbs quick to get called off the bench, and he'll wait to check in. Now Dorian Isaac will walk it across the front court for Baruch. Gives it off to Bryler Page. Quickly to Matina now. Alex Matina gives it off to George Smith. Back to Matina. Matina's going to drive. Gets the ball knocked away. Recovers, though. Bryler Page has it. Trying to bounce it inside. And the ball's on the floor. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to stay with the Bearcats.
Oh.
For the Bearcats, number 4, Anthony Gibbs, checked in.
Oh, my apologies. The refs actually changed that. Apparently the possession arrow was going towards College of Old Westbury. And Stephen Odell will now bring it up for College of Old Westbury. They trail by 11 with coming in a little under 2 minutes remaining in the half. Jamel Stanley has it now, and he'll bring it up top to the symbol. Takes a pick from Bradley Eugene. Bradley Eugene, top of the key jumper. And that's good.
All of a sudden, that 18-point lead that they once had is now cut in half. I think that the turnovers is definitely going to speak volume to that and why this has happened so far. They could just continue to limit the turnovers. They can continue to grow that lead.
Now Bryler Page has it for the Bearcats. And they're playing more of a 3-2 zone. I think the switch to the zone has also affected them. Now it's going to be Alex Matina, right corner 3. That's no good. Wow, what a play. What a play by Chima Ekekabar.
Oh.
I don't know if we caught that on air, but that was courtesy of Coach right there. He wanted a timeout, and apparently the referee was not too inviting of his call of the timeout, as Bradley Eugene has it now straight away. Ooh, doesn't able to hit. But back to the last play. What a play by Chima Ekekabar. It was an air ball by, I believe, Alex Matina. He caught the air ball before it even hits the ground and goes in one move into a reverse layup and is able to finish. What a great read, knowing that the ball is probably not going to hit. Secondly, what a move, the fact that you were able to catch it in midair and finish with the reverse. On the other end, though, Jamel Stanley's fouled and he'll go to the line. And Coach Elise not happy with the refereeing early on the early going. He had a couple of problems with some fouls, and now on top of that, he wanted a timeout on that before this last possession. Now it might turn into 2 points for the College of Old Westbury, make that potentially 1 point for the College of Old Westbury. Jamel Stanley missed the first. William Sixsmith checking into the game. Alex Matina hits the bench.
You got to like Old Westbury's adjustments. They started with that half-court trap, and it's caused them to make the Bearcats make a couple turnovers, and it's led to them getting some early points to actually make this game a 10-point lead. A lot of credit has to go to them.
Yeah, Coach Tomlin and his staff, and also they switched to a zone on defense, which I think was key and has now allowed them to force some Baruch turnovers. Bryler Page has it now. Full court, left corner 3, Ekekabar. That's who you want shooting, because that's what he does. He knocks it down. 17 first half points, 8 boards, and Ekekabar is having a monster first half. Bradley Eugene has it, gives off to fakes pass to Odell. Jamel Stanley gets a bad pass there, able to pick Corral though. Shane Smith has it up top now. He gives off to Preston Powell. Powell gets blocked by George Smith, and again, he blocked him very similar to how he did last time, almost like non-existent. And here we go, Ekekabar the other way, able to finish with the right hand. For the last 2 blocks by George Smith, he almost took it out of the Panthers player's hand, that time being Jamel Stanley. Jamel Stanley coming the other way a little right before halftime, trying to hit the 3, unable. Ooh, last shot. Will it count? That is the question.
I think he got it up before then.
And they're going to say count it. It's going to be a basket at the end of the half by number 21, Shane Smith. Nice presence of mind there for Jamel Stanley to get off the last second shot, and also for Shane Smith to corral the rebound and quickly put it up off glass. And they're going to talk it over, but it will count. And at the end of the first half, it's going to be Baruch 36, College of Old Westbury 23. And you're listening to Bearcats basketball on both 590 AM and simulcast on YouTube tonight. First time ever simulcast. And guys, what a first half. I mean, in terms of for Baruch, that's if you have to start a particular way, that is exactly how you wanted to do it. You have Chima doing his thing, 19 and 8 in the first half. George Smith playing well, 2 blocks, giving you 17 first half minutes, hitting shots when he needs to. He's honestly your secondary scorer, but the fact is, Chima right now at Ekekabar has 19 of your 36 points, which I think is a statement in itself. I think, Jamal, you talked about it in the pregame that we would have to take care of some of the smaller size that College of Old Westbury has, and they've been able to do that by feeding Ekekabar. And boy, has he went to town in the paint. 9 of 15 shooting in the early going.
9 of 15 shooting. Was that 8 rebounds, 19 points? Like you said, he's already on route to get a triple-double, maybe even 2020. Who knows by the end of the night. But the most important thing that we've seen so far is that when the Bearcats have been getting pressured by the Old Westbury, they didn't falter, even though they went down a couple points and it was an 18-point lead. They're now down to get it down to a 13-point lead going into the half. And you got to like the play from both Ekekabar and quietly from George Smith, who only has he has 4 points, but 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. Even on that last play to lead to the Ekeko Bar layup, it was very crucial that he came in at the time that he did. So I like how the bigs, even though they're not getting a lot of touches, they're still doing their part and playing scrappy and making it hard for the Old Westbury offense to get anything going.
Yeah, I completely agree. And speaking of not getting Old Westbury going, Serge, you kicked off the game. Jamal Stanley, preseason potential All-American. And right now, 1 of 7, 3 points. He does have 10 boards, but he also has 3 turnovers. And what do you see that Baruch's doing out there that really has been able to limit him?
I think they're playing very, very aggressive defense. Like Jamal said, with George Smith getting some blocks here. Even Alex Matina quietly having a very good defensive game, putting himself in all the right spots. They're definitely making it as hard as they possibly can for Old Westbury to get to score. And we said that one of the keys to the game was, to limit everybody else but Jamal Stanley. Lo and behold, limiting him. Obviously, they're in a much better situation than they would have been. But, limiting him helps them tenfold. Now with the 13-point lead, granted they did make some adjustments later on in the game after going down, I think it was 18-3. But, yeah, definitely. I think that more it was about the defense for the Baruch Bearcats turning over the ball a couple times later on in the half. I think that if they continue that trend, this lead is going to shrink and shrink, despite the efforts of Chimechi Ekekabo, who's now got 19 points in the first half. I don't think that that's going to matter much if they continue to turn the ball over.
And we saw last week, we saw Birmingham Southern implore the full court trap, 3/4 court trap, let's call it what it is. And now this week we see, I'd say a little more zone defense, and also we saw it even then, a little half-court trapping. And I think in turn we've seen some more turnovers from Baruch. I think Baruch has to be very wary of that in the second half because, they've been able to cut into that deficit. Like we said, Serge, they were up 18, they cut it to 9 at one point, get to halftime with a 13-point lead. Has College of Westbury taken a little bit out of what we saw last week with Birmingham Southern?
I think they had to. They looked at the tape and saw something that was very crucial for them because maybe they couldn't do the full court trap because they don't have enough speed, but because they have the size and they could get them into the half-court sets, you see them set up in the half-court trap easily, and they were able to fluster the shorter Dorian Isaac or the Six Smith out on the perimeter and not make it harder for them to get the ball inside to a George Smith, who on that one play you seen Dorian Isaac get him in, beat the trap, and was able to get it in for the layup. Mm-hmm. And on the second time he tried it, he just couldn't get the ball into him. So I think they was really looking at that tape, and they realized they had something there, and they went to it, and they used it, and they played out to their advantage.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think they definitely did take a little bit out. On the other side, some of the big numbers I want to look at is definitely some of the free throws, only 2 for 6 for College of Old Westbury, so able to really play poorly at the line. However, Baruch themselves were 7 from 8, so that was key. What we're going to want to limit those the offensive rebounds. Right now, Baruch's getting out offensive rebounded 9-3. So we saw a lot of those offensive rebounds on some of those layups that they missed with Jamal Stanley early on. I think you have to be very wary of that because of the fact that those could easily be buckets. He's not going to miss the hoop all night. And also when you're the teams, I guess you consider College of Old Westbury a little undersized, I think you really want to definitely exploit them on the boards.
I think they've been very lucky, and it's been a blessing for them that Stanley hasn't went off. I mean, he has 7 attempts. He's gotten close a couple times. He's missed a couple layups, and the ball just hasn't dropped for him tonight. That's why even then going into the second half, you got to try to limit even the rest of the players because I think he still has the ability to go off at any time, and you don't want to get him started because once he starts to get started, your defense changes a little bit. Maybe you double on him a little bit, leave the other players to get some open shots. You see so far that some of the other players for the for Old Westbury has knocked down some open shots and actually helped keep it close for the Old Westbury College.
Yeah. And they're only shooting 26% right now, so law of averages says they're going to come out, they're going to try to put the ball in the basket. I don't think they're going to shoot 26% for the rest of the game. However, Baruch's also shooting at a nice 42% clip, so if they can keep that going. They're also, the thing is with the offensive rebounds that we just mentioned, College of Westbury's had 7 more field goal attempts so far than Baruch. So I think you just have to limit the rebounding, especially when you outmatch them. And I could definitely see Coach Alesi talking to them about that at halftime. Excuse me, Coach Alesi. Also, what I think they have to talk about is definitely getting into the paint a little bit more. We saw it early on with Dwayne Isaac being able to get to the free throw line on 2 of the first 3 possessions, I believe. I think he only has 6 free throws the entire first half, so he might actually have 4 himself. Excuse me, yeah. Oh, no, sorry, those were his only 2. My apologies. I was looking at Bryler Page got to the line 4 times. So I think you have to definitely, if you're Dwayne Isaac, you definitely want him to get into the paint a little more, especially when he's 0 for 3. Try to get him to the line, find that rhythm, get him going, because they need some more secondary scoring around Chimac Echobar, because you know if you're College of Old Westbury, Coach Bernard Tomlin's definitely talking to his guys and saying we have to stop number 32.
I agree. I mean, he's playing just like how he played in the tournament, and you got to love it. And if you can consistently play like this for the Bearcats, they're going to have a lot of success going forward, even making it all the way back to the CUNY AC championship. I know it's early, but what we can see is that Echobar is going to be a big part of this offense, and feeding him early and often is only going to help all the other players.
So this has been the first half of Bearcats basketball. We'll be back in 5 minutes for the second half. You're listening to Bearcats basketball live from the Arc Arena, simulcast on both 590 AM, WBMBBiz.com, as well as YouTube, Baruch Athletic Fan. That'll be the channel that we're on, and all home games, if you're worried, all men's home games will be streaming live. Actually, I think we might be doing some of the women's games moving forward as well. So it's going to be all basketball games. We'll be streaming live on YouTube, and the play-by-play will be provided by yours truly, as well as Jamal Chapman and Sergio Gorno from the radio station WBMB. We'll be back in 5 minutes with second half action. For Bearcats second half basketball, you're listening to Bearcats basketball on both 590 AM and YouTube simulcast for the first time. I gotta get used to saying that, guys, because I keep saying it and I'm not used to it. I'm not used to saying simulcast on YouTube.
I know it's a new term. It feels great, doesn't it? Simulcast. And on the radio, 590 AM, WBMB's Baruch Bearcats basketball, simulcast on YouTube. Guys, we are getting ready for the second half, and we're going to get started with Sixsmith inbounding the ball.
And it'll be Baruch in their home whites going right to left in this half. Blue letters, and it'll be the College of Old Westbury in their green roads. And quickly with the half-court trap for College of Westbury. Baruch trying to break it down. Dwayne Isaac inside the Ekebar, blocked from behind by Jamel Stanley. And we're right back into it here in the second half. Baruch lead 36-23 here at the beginning of the second half. It's going to be Bryler Page, William Sixsmith, Dwayne Isaac, George Smith Jr., and Chima Ekebar. And it's going to be a foul on George Smith Jr. before the inbound. You have to be very careful there. And the other way for College of Old Westbury, who in the first half only used an 8-man rotation, which I found very interesting. Some of the problems that Baruch had last year, but also Baruch have now been able to build this class a lot deeper.
Right.
It's going to be Stephen Odell, Jamel Stanley, Lyle Rials, Bradley Eugene, and Stephen Baker. Stanley Baker, excuse me. And now it's Riles inside to Eugene. Eugene back out to Riles, almost intercepted, but Eugene had it. Gives off to Jamel Stanley now. Takes the pick from Eugene. Jamel Stanley, 3 ball from Stanley's up. That's off. Fighting for the rebound. It's going to be off. Trying to get a number here. Give me 1 second. Lyle Rials underneath, and it'll be to Baruch as Dwayne Isaac brings it right to left. The foul's going to be on number 3, Jamel Stanley. Only his first, which is very interesting. So if you thought he was going to get fouled out of this game, or at least into some foul trouble, it looks like that's not going to happen. William Sixsmith will inbound here as Dwayne Isaac gets it and walks it over the half court. Dwayne Isaac now into Bryler Page. Nice bounce pass to oh, man, George Smith unable to finish. Gets his own rebound and a fresh 30. Quickly swings around to Bryler Page. Bryler Page, high floater. That's off rim, and I like how Baruch's breaking down the zone in the early going. However, they're just not able to finish at the hoop. Stephen Odell into the front court. Quickly to Jamel Stanley. Jamel Stanley crossover move on Bryler Page. Kind of loses the ball, and they have to reset with Odell up top. He's picked up by number 14, Dwayne Isaac of your Bearcats. Quickly around to Bradley Eugene. Bradley Eugene has it on the right wing. Gives it off to Lyle. Gives it off to now number 24, Stanley Baker. Handoff quick back to Lyle. Lyle covered by Sixsmith. Jumper. That's off, and Dwayne Isaac comes away with it, and he'll quickly push into the front court, Moving left and right on Stephen Odell, and he'll foul him. Number 0, Stephen Odell on the foul. That is his first foul of the night. And William Sixsmith will inbound right in front of us here next to the Baruch bench. Into Dwayne Isaac. Dwayne Isaac will set it up. Covered by Stanley. Gives it back to Sixsmith. Quickly swings it around to Bryler Page. Ekebar trying to establish position. Unable to do so. Gives it up to George Smith, who's back to Dwayne Isaac. Takes the pick left from Smith. Isaac into the paint. Back out to Sixsmith. Sixsmith right wing 3. That's around, out off the glass, off the rim, and out again as George Smith comes away with it for Baruch. Gives it up to Ekebar, and Ekebar will hand off to Isaac, and they'll set up the fresh offense. Here comes Isaac. He's fouled by number 20, Bradley Eugene of the Panthers. Unable to move his feet quickly enough, and he'll get called. That will be his first as well. Very interesting. A lot of first fouls, but 3 quick fouls in the first 2 minutes, and this could help Baruch later in the quarter.
Yeah, I think Baruch probably saw something, and they realized that the fact that they have to keep driving and keep drawing the fouls.
So Jamel Stanley pushes it left to right, trying to give it up to Bradley Eugene. Cutting on the right side there, unable to finish, and him and Bradley Eugene have a little conversation as they go back. On the other end, though, Sixsmith turns it over on the floater. Not really his game, going baseline floater. Definitely want to see him shoot, maybe penetrate and kick out.
Right.
So very interesting there as Baruch brings it back into the front court as Sixsmith again has it. Gives off to Ekebar. Back up to Sixsmith. Now over to Dwayne Isaac. Dwayne Isaac drives. Gives it out to Bryler Page. Left corner 3. Off rim. Fighting for the rebound are a bunch of players. George Smith gets a hand in there, but it will be number 20, Bradley Eugene for the Panthers to come down with it. He gives off to Stephen Odell. Bradley Eugene over to Jamel Stanley. Jamel Stanley takes the pick, doesn't use it, gives it off to Baker, quickly swinging it around to Riles. Ball goes right through Riles' hands, and he definitely just took his eyes off at that time it goes into the bench, and it'll go back the other way, and that's got to be frustrating for Coach Bernard Tomlin.
Yeah, you see those last 2 possessions leading. One that could have been an easy bucket in transition led to a turnover, and this one, again, leading to the turnover. They're playing a little sloppy right now out the gate.
Dwayne Isaac, ooh, what a move he attempted right there. Unable to finish. A little backwards floater, it looked like. Ekekabar comes away with it, though. Didn't get a fresh shot clock. Only had 15 to go on the clock. William Sixsmith has it now. Deep left wing 3. Knocks it down.
Wow.
3-pointer. William Sixsmith.
They should give him 4 for that. Oh
That
my
was
God.
deep. That was almost right in front of us, guys.
Yeah.
You got to love it. And that's his game.
That's his game. We don't know why he's taking floaters, but I'll let him do that. Let him shoot out of the gym. And that'll be Baker. Turnaround jumper over. Ooh, nice play there. Number 24, sophomore Stanley Baker, able to do a nice little turnaround. Face up on George Smith Jr., unable to finish. Sixsmith has it now in the backcourt, gives it up to Bryler Page. They have numbers if they go the right way. Chimak Ekabar hard, blocking foul on number 20, Bradley Eugene, as Chimak Ekabar. That's what you got to do. If you're going to go in hard, go in hard. And you can see Ekabar shaking off some of the bruises himself.
Right.
But he'll go to line to shoot too. And that's what you need to do. Chimak Ekabar, not only is he one of the team captains as a junior, but he leads by example on the court. You know,
right.
When he wants you to do something, he'll do it first, and then you just lead by example. And as you can see, he's having a monster game so far. We talked about a 19-8 at half, and he's looking to add from that at the free throw line.
Yeah, and that was one of the things we talked about last week in the interview when we had him on the Justin Gorno's show. That the fact that him being a junior, him being the elder statesman on the team, that he's going to have to step up big and actually carry his team and be the driving force to lead them to victories down the stretch. And you see so far in that last play, he was showing his leadership right there.
And I have to say, you can kind of see as Ekabar hits the second to make it a 16-point game, 41-25. They're using a little bit of smaller of a lineup than they did last week.
Right.
Last week we saw Jack Sixsmith. We saw more from Alan Villar. We saw Georgios Zavos come in. We haven't even seen him yet today. So, and here comes Sixsmith the other way on the steal. He misses with the right hand. Ooh, Ekabar gets the rebound, but he gets blocked as he goes right back up with it. And Odell comes back the other way. Nice defensive play there by the College of Old Westbury.
They're still keeping it interesting.
16-point lead with 16 minutes left. 41-25 as Lyle Rials has it now right wing. Swings it to Odell, gives it off to Baker. Hands back off to Odell. Gives it back to Rials, swings it over to Baker. To Eugene that time, over to Jamel Stanley. Fadeaway jumper. That's good with George Smith and Bryler Page in his hand. And let me tell you something, the hard shots that they're giving him, I would let him take because he's not going to hit that all evening. And he wasn't hitting in the first half, but Jamel Stanley's now 2 of 9 for 5 points.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Great defensive sequence by the Bearcats on that. They did what they need to do, get the balls out of everybody's hands, and force Stanley to make a shot.
Ooh, and Bryler Page hits the deck hard. Sixsmith able to break down the zone, a little bounce pass on the interior, and that's what you need to do. You need to set up for on the zone. When you have the zone, you have to set up with a point man somewhere in the elbow free throw line area. You get the ball into him, and then you let him turn, face the basket. Then he'll either have options in the corner for the 3, or he'll have a nice little bounce pass. That time he actually took it himself, went straight up with it. Bryler Page did, and he's able to go to the line. So it gives you options there, especially against that zone defense. What you want is because you want to draw out the center. So if you put the guy right at the free throw line, the elbow area, brings the center out. You'll have lanes behind him to cut and make some baskets.
Yeah, I agree on that one, Dave. Good assessment.
And Bryler Page misses the second. Number 20 now, Bradley Eugene gets in, and he gives it up to Stephen Odell, who'll bring it into the front court for the Westbury Panthers. 14-point lead for Baruch. Nice pick there by Baker. Riles, offensive foul, and he swung his arm out. William Sixsmith again there. We've called his name a lot today. And outside of that floater, which I don't think, he'll definitely look at that on the game film.
Right.
I think he's had a really good game, William Sixsmith.
Yes.
I mean, you're looking at 17 minutes. Sure, he's 2 of 6, but both have been 3s. However, I think at the defensive end, he's definitely taken a little bit more responsibility. And as you can see, going up against, some of their best players. Ooh, nice move by Ekekabar. Ooh, what a play by Dwayne Isaac. Ekekabar goes up, can't finish. Dwayne Isaac taps it on the other end. And one of the smallest guys on the court able to finish his 6th board of the evening. Jamel Stanley gets into the paint, and he's able to hit one that rolls over the front rim and drops.
You were talking a minute ago about Sixsmith. As long as he's hitting 3s, I think that's the most important thing because I think that's his game, and that's what the Baruch Bearcats need from him, rely on him to do.
So Ekabar has underneath Bryler Page, elbow jumper. That's good. Once again, breaking down the 3-2 zone, the 2-3, and it's Baruch 45, Panthers 29. as Odell brings it to the front court for the Panthers. There's a 3-ball. That's off, only hits backboard, and Chimak Ekabar gets a rebound, and that'll do it. That'll give him the double-double. 22, actually, sorry, that was 22 and 11. He already had the double-double. Ekabar going strong, and he gets fouled, and he has a chance for 2 shots. And guys, Ekabar, once again, the size mismatch has just been a problem. He's 9 of 18 and shooting a solid 50% from the field. 21 and 11 so far, and we're about a quarter of a way here through the second half.
And to think like this guy doesn't show any type of wear and tear or slowing down. He's played every minute of this game so far, 26 minutes, and he's putting in a monster game right now so far. 21 points, 11 boards. You can't ask for much more than that from your elder statesman, the junior, the team captain.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they do have other big guys that they can rely on a little more.
Right.
It's not necessarily falling all on his shoulders like we saw last season where, he was a durable guy, but you saw the wear and tear that was being put on him. So I think this is a huge improvement from a season ago.
Yeah, he's played every minute so far tonight, Serge, but I think we talked about it last Wednesday. It's an easier 38, 40 minutes because you're not doing everything on both ends. You're not the sole guy to rely on both sides of the court. And as Chima right there knocks down them both, he has 23 and 11. As number 11, Taryn Rowland has checked in for the College of Westbury, and he brings up the ball. Gives it off to Riles, swings it over to Stanley. Stanley gets double teamed back to Riles, corner 3. George Smith closes out on him. The rebound is up, fought for, and he's going to get fouled. Looks like he got whacked on the side of the head. Number 24, Stanley Baker, came down with the rebound. The foul's on number 22, George Smith Jr. And that's not the type of thing you really mind because George Smith has kind of been battling all night for those boards. Now Alan Villar will check in for George Smith Jr. That was his first personal. Ooh, dangerous inbound pass, almost knocked away there by Dorian Isaac. Number 11, Taryn Rowland, comes away with it for the Panthers, and he slows it up top. He has a pick right. He takes it. Gives it off to Riles. Riles hands it off to Brandon Thompson, his first minutes of the game. Number 24, Baker has it now. He gives it to Jamel Stanley. Stanley working on Page, gets double teamed. Ooh, nice play by Ekabar as he gets his hand in there, and it's taken away by Sixsmith, and it goes the other way. Dorian Isaac, crossover move. Nice play there on Rowland. Gives it off to Ekabar. Nice mid-range jumper on the left baseline. He's able to knock it down and give it 25 for Chima Ekabar. Ooh, what a play. Poor play there by Taryn Rowland. He tries to quickly give it up to the front court to number 1, Brandon Thompson. He overthrows him there, and it'll go back to Baruch. Baruch currently now really stretching it out here. Now it's their biggest lead of the game, up by 20, 49-29, and they have the ball, chance to stretch it to 22.
And you can clearly see that the Old Westbury team is not playing in sync. They don't look like they're cohesive on the court right now. They look like they're feeling the pressure, especially with Jamel Stanley forcing that play on the last one and leading to the turnover into the 2-point for the Bearcats.
And Alex Matina checks in for Bryler Page, and Stephen Odell checks in for Taryn Rowland on the College of Old Westbury. Now inside to Alan Villar. Ooh, tries to go up with the right hand, but unable to finish, and he quickly goes into the front court. Stephen Odell now gives it off to Thompson. Nice play by Thompson, a little hop step, can't finish though. And that's been a big story about today's game. You're able to get in the lane, unable to finish. Start from the early going. Alex Matina the other way, and he gets fouled. And it's going to be offensive foul.
Wow.
Excuse me, wow.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
never mind. They changed it back. The referees had to come together. First it was a block, then it was a charge, and now Matina will take 2 shots.
Yeah, I clearly didn't know what they were watching right there. You could clearly see that the guy was still moving. His feet was in the restricted area already. So great play, a great way for Alex Matina to get aggressive and get some points going from this game.
And now Matina will be at the line to shoot 2.
And you've seen so far how the early fouls have come back to plague Old Westbury, because now Alex Matina is now going to the free throw line. And they need to keep on the pressure and keep on applying and keep drawing the fouls so they can get more of these two-point possessions, two-point opportunities.
He's shooting 2 here, but Baruch are already in the bonus.
Yeah.
So it'll be a 1-and-1 moving forward on any hand check or anything like that as he knocks down the second. Alex Matina, nice signing. I mean, very underrated, obviously, Cuniac Conference. But coming over from Hunter, one of their top 3 scorers, and he obviously has to work himself into the rotation here at Baruch, but an underrated signing by Coach Alicia and his staff. And now Riles has it, straightaway 3. That's off. Rebounded by Matina again, calling his name, and he gives it off to Dorian Isaac, brings it forward. Dorian Isaac slows it up as he has Stephen Odell. Bounce pass inside to Villar. Nice little pick and roll between the two of them, but it bounces off Villar's hip, and it comes away. Odell gives it off to Jamel Stanley. Stanley into the paint. He gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots. Baruch lead 50-29 with 12:14 remaining. You listen to Bearcats basketball simulcast on YouTube at Baruch Athletic Fan and on 590 AM WBMB Radio. Just to let you know, the SAC Student Athletic Advisory Committee is hosting a 3-on-3 basketball event to help fundraise for the Special Olympics. Cost is $10 per team. The event will take place during club hours on Thursday, December 1st from 12:30 to 2:30, and you can come sign up at the fitness center. It's for a great cause. All 100% of the proceeds for Special Olympics, and this is the type of stuff I like to see Baruch doing, giving back to great causes, and Special Olympics is one of the best.
Yeah, and actually letting people play the game that they love and get an opportunity to play in a tournament. You know, a lot of people don't get an opportunity to play organized sports, so sometimes putting on a tournament like this to give them a nice little feel and potentially a chance to win the championship, you know?
And honestly, if you don't have $10 right now, I understand it's a lot, some people, especially in the holiday season for some people.
Right.
But it's only $3 because you're part of a 3-man team. So come in. As Jamel Stanley gets the steal, goes the other way and throws it down. Dwayne Isaac, his 4th turnover. So yeah, 3:33 really to play. 2 hours of basketball, not a bad deal with the proceeds going to charity.
I agree.
Anthony Gibbs brings it right to left for Baruch into the front court. Calling out the plays, waiting for some movement. Oh, throws it away. Chimak trying to give it the bounce pass. Chimak Akabar gave it to the wrong side of him, and Odell gets it for College of Old Westbury. Gives it off to Jamel Stanley. Westbury down by 17. 3-pointer by Brandon Thompson. That's off rim. Rebounded 2 men there, but it's Villar that comes away with it and gives it off to Dwayne Isaac. And the Bearcats will call timeout as this 21-point lead has been cut to 17. You're listening to Bearcats basketball, both simulcast on YouTube at Baruch Athletic Fan as well as WBMB 590 AM. Also, we will be moving forward. You know, we started the simulcast tonight. Moving forward, we will have all Baruch Athletic basketball events on YouTube, men's, women's. Coming up, we'll have the play-by-play will be provided by us on Baruch Radio's WBMB, and we'll have the simulcast on Baruch Athletic Fan on YouTube. So 50-33, Baruch lead with 11:16 remaining. And don't forget. And tomorrow night, don't forget to tune in. We will have Just and Gorneau at 5 to 7. It'll be Jamal and I tomorrow. Sergio has some Thanksgiving plans, I believe, so he won't be unable to join us. However, Jamal and I plan to have a show. We're also going to talk to the team, potentially try to get a little spot guest on the show tomorrow. Talk about a great matchup tonight, and hopefully
you might get a guest caller.
And maybe a guest caller from Sergio. But that'll be at 5 to 7 tomorrow. We'll be talking Baruch, a little bit of Baruch basketball. Right. We'll be talking definitely some NFL.
Yes.
Who are you bringing in tomorrow?
I don't know. We're going to try to talk to the team after this and see
All right. Well, yeah. You know? Whoever we get, we get.
Yeah. So Dwayne Isaac inbounds in front of us. Anthony Gibbs smothered by Jamel Stanley, but now they have numbers. That's going to be Matina swinging it quickly around Ekabar. Ekabar straightaway 3. That's off rim and out. Alan Villar, offensive foul. And look, that was weird again. I thought his hand was being held down by number 24, Stanley Baker of the Panthers. However, they're saying it was the other way around, and it looked like he was only able to rebound that ball with one hand.
I think from the position of the ref, though, I think all he's seen was the elbow being extended into the back of the old Westbury defender. So I guess he's seen that and just went with the call of the over the back.
So now number 32 is in the game, Ethan Bevan for the College of Old Westbury. And this is one of the other bigs that we were talking about, 6'5" freshman out of Australia. Jamel Stanley has it now for College of Old Westbury. He gets hand checked outside, and it'll be a foul on Chimak Ekabar. The basket will not count, and they'll take it out. They'll take it out underneath. His second foul of the evening on Ekabar. Ekabar, big game again tonight, 25 and 11 on 10 of 20 shooting. Dwayne Brighty comes to the bench table to check in. Anthony Gibbs will come sit down. So right now it's Alex Matina, Chimak Ekabar, George Smith Jr., and Dwayne Isaac, as well as Dwayne Brighty just checked in. Dwayne Isaac, excuse me. Thompson, 3 there for College of Old Westbury. That's off, and it's going to be George Smith Jr. Nice play there. Now, we talked about it last week, keeping the ball above your head. You get all your power there, and they can't knock it away from you. Nice play by the freshman there, George Smith Jr. I know it's just the basics, but a lot of this stuff takes time to learn, and it's great to see that they're doing it as freshmen. Now Dorian Isaac kicks it out. Alex Matina, corner three. He knocks it down. Three-pointer, Alex Matina. And Baruch stretched the lead back to 20, 53-33. We're coming in on 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Nice stroke from Matina. It's good to start. Good to see him getting started right now.
Thompson takes the screen from Ethan Bevan, and that's going to be a moving pick. Fouls on number 32, Ethan Bevan, the freshman out of Australia. And the ball will go back to Baruch, who have a chance to re-extend this lead to 22. Now George Smith has it. He sets a pick for Dwayne Brighty. Gives a bounce pass to Alex Matina. Matina's going to drive. And it's going to go off his thigh out of bounds and back to College-Old Westbury. But nice play there by Matina.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the first time in both the games that we've done so far this year that he really put his head down and went straight for the basket.
Right. You have to love the tenacity. You like to love the energy from Matina. You love to see them do that more.
And we know he's still fitting in. However, we think that definitely a lot of – we know the type of upside that he has and definitely a lot of upside for this Baruch team. Now College-Old Westbury has it. It's going to be number 24, Baker, who gives it up to number 1, Brandon Thompson. Brandon Thompson takes the pick left from Baker, gives it back to him. He's looking. Jumper over George Smith. Ooh, nice shot. And we see George Smith very, very physical on the defensive end. He's able to shoot up and over George Smith there as Dorian Isaac brings it into the front court for Baruch, moving right to left. Big crowd here for Baruch basketball, about 100 in the stands this evening. Chima Akakamar open, straightaway three. He knocks it down. That's going to give Chima 28 on the evening, and he has half of the Baruch points Chima Akakamar has this evening.
There's no stopping that guy tonight. He's playing on all cylinders. And with the block.
And what a block right there. Actually, I don't know if it was him or George Smith, but either way, the two bigs, like we said, taking a little pressure off Akakamar, but he might have been in there as well. Dorian Isaac straight to the rim, unable to finish, though. That would have been a nice move as Giorgio Zavos comes to the scorer's table to check back in. It's College-Old Westbury the other way. Ethan Bevan shooting a three. That's off back rim, rebounded by Dorian Isaac, and they'll slowly walk it up. Baruch lead by 21, 56-35. And Akakamar has it. Gives it back to Dorian Isaac. Dorian Isaac has left wing calling out the play. Bounce pass to Akakamar. Akakamar calling out signals for his team. Hand off to Alex Matina, unable to give it to him there. And now it's Alex Matina double team. He gives off to Dwayne Brighty. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Off glass and in. What a move there by number 13, Dwayne Brighty. And now College-Old Westbury comes quickly the other way. Brandon Thompson, one little jab step, jumper, unable to hit. Ethan Bevan fighting for the rebound with Akakamar, but it's actually Dorian Isaac who comes away with it. Now in the corner for three, Alex Matina again, he knocks it down. Three-pointer, Alex Matina, and it's going to be a timeout, College-Old Westbury. Baruch 61, College-Old Westbury 35. You're listening to Bearcats basketball on simulcast on YouTube, Baruch Athletic Fan, as well as WBMB 590 AM, and there's nothing but smiles on that Baruch bench.
I think it's official. We can now say the route is officially on. Alex Matina with the three. He's opening up his game. He now has 7 points, and he's playing very well. Akakamar, 28 points.
Yeah.
He's continuously doing what he needs to do on the offensive end. Also on the defensive end with that last block. I don't know if it was between him or Smith. But you got to love the way, I don't know what Coach Lacy said to the team upstairs, but what he ever said he said to them has been working, and they've just never looked back, and they've expanded on this league. Great job by the Bearcats.
I agree, and I want to go back to something that Chima told us last week on air on the Justin Gourneau show. He said he loves when seeing that his matchup is the go-to guy on the other team. He says he likes knowing that he has to shut down the best guy. Not only is he, for the most part, shutting him down, and I say it's a team effort on Jamel Stanley. He's 11-11, quality double-double, not really the numbers we expected out of him. But on top of that, he has come out, and what a game for Chima. 28 and 12 so far with 8 minutes remaining here in the game, 61-35, and actually he's out of the game, and it looks like Akakabar's night probably is going to be over at 28 and 12. What an evening as number 11, Taryn Rolland, brings it into the front court for the College-Old Westbury.
I think it's actually good not to see him play the whole game, like for one night, and just get a nice little rest. He's well-deserved.
Ooh, nice steal there by Alex Matina. Ooh, but he gets it right back at Tramel Stanley, and he throws it down. Wow. Second dunk we've seen by him, the only 2 dunks so far on the evening.
He gets up. He's a good leaper, and he really has the hops to dunk it down.
So Baruch have emptied the bench now. It is Jack Sixsmith, Alex Matina, George Smith Jr., Georgios Zavos, and as we say that, Alex Matina gets called for the charge. Taking the charge is number 24, Stanley Baker for the Panthers. And lastly, Dwayne Bridey. So you've seen Coach Alisi really move away from the starting lineup, which is good. Only starter right now is George Smith Jr., but as a freshman, you can see him getting some of the minutes here at the late part of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of having a deep bench, when you give the starters a time to spell, to actually work in there, do what they need to do, and score and put the game away. You give the freshmen and you give the bench the pass to do what they need to do and get in the game and get some minutes to kill.
So Taryn Rowland's 3 is off the back iron for College of Old Westbury, and Alex Matina comes away with it and brings it into the front court. Gives it off to Jack Sixsmith up top. Covered tightly by Taryn Rowland. And that ball's tipped away, and it'll stay with Baruch. Dwayne Bridey to inbound right in front of us. He gives it into Jack Sixsmith. Covered tightly by number 11, Rowland. Bounce pass back to Dwayne Bridey. He got Stanley up on him. Georgios Zavos comes with a pick left, and Bridey uses it. Now inside to Zavos. Zavos, nice move with the left hand, can't finish. George Smith gets the rebound, and he gets fouled. George Smith should go to the line, shooting 2, fouled on the putback. And we'll see what the freshman can do at the line here. But a nice game for George Smith tonight. I think he's really given Baruch a little bit what they need. Last game I think we saw from Anthony Gibbs. Last week against Birmingham Southern, a bit of that energy, that tenacity. And I think tonight we're seeing it from George Smith.
And I think it's very important for them. I think last season he was kind of what they were lacking a little bit. A guy with a little exercise and get some boards for you. I think that's been huge for them thus far.
And to even look at that, like this, just to add on your point, I think it's great that they have a deep bench, because now with 2 bigs, Alan Villar, you see as he had 4 foul trouble, using the foul trouble early, so you have to take him out. You have players like Smith who could step in and be that big man and spell each other. So I think that depth is going to help them a lot.
And now Old Westbury have it in the front court. 3-pointer, Tramel Stanley. That's off. Jack Sixsmith with the rebound. He's going to push into the front court, give it off to Dwayne Bridey. Dwayne Bridey right back with a 3 of his own. He can't hit, and I think Baruch rushing it a little bit there. I think they should definitely try to slow it down and try to get it into rhythm a little bit more.
Yeah. I think at this point they're just trying to running their offense and seeing what they could get out of the game. I think they probably figured they haven't much in the bag, even though it's 6 minutes left. Anything could happen. A barrage of threes could really open this game up, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
You're also looking at a 26-point game here. So
right.
I think the real key is, as long as none of the key names get injured, and you go into healthy for tomorrow, just practice and whatnot, I think it's good to go. Hey, I mean, after this game, maybe Coach Alisi will give him an off day.
Hey, they deserve it.
I think so. They definitely came out, and like we said, we started off the show, defending Skyline champions, conference champions in Old Westbury. They went to the tournament last year, and Baruch has really come out and put a stamp on their game.
Yeah, they really showed that what they can do with an expanded bench and not a limited roster, even though they was able to make it to the tournament championship last year, the CUNY AC. But now with the expansive roster, the depth at multiple positions, it can only, I know Coach Alisi is just thinking about and dreaming about how far this team could go. Coach Alisi.
So Jack Sixsmith has it in the front court. Playing with 2 freshman bigs right now, which is a revelation compared to last year. Bounce pass into George Smith. Quickly back out to Jack Sixsmith. Bounce pass. Ooh, nice play there. Bounce pass into George Zavos. Can't finish, though. He fumbled the ball a little bit. Took his eye off the basket. Now it's Rollins the other way. Rowland the other way. My apologies. And George Smith comes up with the rebound after he misses on the layup. Jack Sixsmith quickly to Matina. And that ball's tipped away by number 10, Preston Powell. However, it goes off Alex Matina last, and it'll go back to the College of Old Westbury. Back and forth sloppiness here in the last minute for both teams. As number 11, Taryn Rowland brings it into the front court for the College at Old Westbury. Bounce pass to Stefan Odell. Floater in the lane, unable to finish. Rebounded by number 30, Georgios Zavos for the Bearcats. And he'll bring it up himself. He's pulling a little Chimak Ekabar himself there. And he hands it off. He's trying to hand it off to number 1, Jack Sixsmith, as number 33, Alan Villar, comes to the table getting ready to check back in. Jack Sixsmith pressured tightly by number 10, Preston Powell. Gives off to Matina. Now it's going to be Giorgio Zavos. A little pump fake move, able to get into the lane. Ooh, a nice little play there. Trying to go high off the glass. Unable to finish, though, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. Giorgio Zavos. Nice play there by the big fella.
You don't like to see a lot of big men put it on the floor, but with the way he put it on the floor just now and got through the bob and weave through the defenders, it's really impressive.
Yeah, he caught the defender off balance on the pump fake at the three-point line.
Right.
And from there, he's able to get past the first defender. A little hop step between two defenders, unable to finish. However, he's going to the line to shoot two as he knocks down the first to make it 65-39, and Baruch is back up. 64-39, and Baruch is back up by 25.
And now you see the full bench come in. I think the coach Alisi has figured out that the team is going to win, and now they're going to move forward, and they're just going to see what the freshmen can do.
Absolutely, as Alan Villar checks back in. So now, right, we're going with three bigs now with Villar. George Smith actually sat down, so it's going to be Villar and just Zavos. Dwayne Brighty's also in, but he's more of a three. Number 21, Shane Smith has it. He gives it off to number 10, Preston Powell. Back to Shane Smith, who can't finish. Rebound in there by number 20, Bradley Eugene, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. Bradley Eugene out of Long Island Holy Trinity High School. And about this, especially when you have your guys in now, some of the players that maybe not get the most minutes, a lot of the bench per se, I think it's more understanding the system, knowing that this is game time. This is a great opportunity for you to, learn the offense, get more minutes, impress the coaching staff, and that's really what you have to come out here. Play tough ball. Don't get complacent, because you know that these minutes mean something.
Yeah, like they always say, even in garbage time, you still can make an impression, you still can learn something, and you have an opportunity to basically stand out and show the team that you are who they brought you here to be.
And Alan Villar comes away with the rebound after the second missed free throw. It's still a 25-point game, and he'll go to the line for the 1-and-1. Just a reminder, the Baruch Student Athletic Advisory Committee is hosting a coat and blanket drive for the holiday season. It gets cold. I get cold at night. Everyone gets cold at night, so everyone needs a blanket. Everyone needs a coat. You can drop off your items at the athletic department or at the coat blanket drive around campus. We appreciate the support. If you know anyone that goes to Baruch, know anyone that has coats or blankets or anything, bring them on over, because we definitely need them.
Yes, it's getting cold out there. It just got cold today. It's going to be 50s tomorrow, but even in 50-degree weather, you still need a jacket. So,
yeah,
right in time for the holidays.
Absolutely.
Right before the snowstorms come.
Yep. I couldn't agree with you more. As Alan Villar goes 1-2 from the line, and nice play there by Jack Sixman. Tried to go for the full court pass. Did College Ball Westbury, and Sixman is able to pick it off. Great defensive awareness. Dwayne Brighty gets into the lane. He's blocked like 3 or 4 times. It looked like ball fumbled around. Jack Sixsmith swings around to Giorgio Zavos. 3-pointers off. Rebounded by Bradley Eugene, number 20, and he gives it off to Roland, who brings it into the front court. Roland slows it down now as he's picked up by number 4, freshman Anthony Gibbs. Roland now to Bradley Eugene. Gives it off to number 22, Chris Mondesir, his first minutes of the game, and he gives it off to Taryn Roland, number 11. Picked now by number 21, Shane Smith. Gives it off to number 20, Bradley Eugene. That's off. Rebound is loose, and it's going to go out of bounds back to Baruch with coming in on 4 minutes remaining in the game, and it's all but over. 26 points lead by Baruch. And with 4:06 remaining, Baruch leads 65-39. You're listening to Bearcats basketball on 590 AM as well as YouTube, Baruch Athletic fan. So for the latest information on Baruch College Athletics, please visit us on Twitter, Baruch Athletics, Facebook, Snapchat, or Instagram for all of your Baruch Athletics information, as well as scores, stats, and info. Once again, Baruch leads 65-39 with 4 minutes left. And Baruch have a huge break after this, guys. I don't know if you had a chance to catch any of that. The Baruch are actually off for 4 days. They play Gwynn and Mercy, and then conference play starts. So they have a few days of practice before their next game, as recently they've just played three games in 4 days themselves. So
I think a lot of the players are thinking about Thanksgiving, thinking about that big plate, and they came out here and played like they were playing for Thanksgiving. And maybe Coach Alisi gives them the day off tomorrow, let them go home to their family after putting up a great performance like they did today. I mean, come on, look at the score, 65-39. almost, 26-point lead. Can't ask for nothing more right before Thanksgiving. You got to be thankful for that.
And you have to assume they're going to be definitely back in the gym Friday, as they have a game on Saturday against Gwynn and Mercy. And this is actually a little key stretch of their schedule. They play Gwynn and Mercy on the road on Saturday. Then next Tuesday, it's going to be on the road at York, conference game. Then it's on the road at City College on the Friday the 2nd, conference game. And then you play Stevens Institute of Technology also on the road. So 4 straight road games after this until we welcome back Medgar Evers on Friday the 9th for their first home conference game. So the next 4 games could be really telling of Baruch and how they expect to be for the rest of the season, because going on the road is definitely a challenge, and the fact that you're going to have to do it your next 4 games after just being on the road this past weekend. So in reality, it's really 2 out of your first 8 are on the road.
Wow.
Sorry, 2 out of your first 9. 2 out of your first 9. So you can start out, somewhere in the 7-2, 8-1 range, even 9-0. If you're fortunate enough, you could put yourself in a great position to have a great season.
And coming off like a great win tonight that they're going to come off to at home, it has to give them a lot of confidence to know that as long as they stick to their game, even on the road, they could beat any team that's put before them, as they've done tonight, handily, especially in the second half.
And Anthony Gibbs gets fouled there as he goes drives to the basket. And this is just, this is just what has to happen now. This is how it's going to play out. It's going to be just free throws. It's going to be wasting time. We have 3.5 minutes left, but this game has been over. It's a 26-point lead, 65-39. And what you have to be impressed with tonight is definitely Baruch's defense. I mean, the offense is going to be there. You have enough scoring where it should be there. However, you're holding the opposing shooting to 26%, 1 of 18 from downtown. So hats off to Coach Alisi and his defense tonight. And now we've also started to out-rebound him too, +8 on the boards. Give it off to number 11, Roland, quickly swung around to number 10, Preston Powell. Preston Powell bounced past the number 24, Stanley Baker. Baker jumper, that's off, rebounded by Georgios Zavos. 3:15 remaining here, 27-point game, Jack Sithsmith has it, bounce pass into Alan Villar. Ooh, nice play by Alan Villar, and 1. Alan Villar with the hook.
Nice.
And the Bearcats will go to the line to potentially make it a 30-point game.
Wow. Alan Villar with the move, getting the layup, and getting the foul. I like the way the bigs are playing, even now when you have Alan Villar at the line going in for 1. But you've seen George Zavos, Georgios Zavos, he was even getting more involved, getting to the free throw line, able to.
In the post.
Yes.
Yeah.
And able to actually go to the free throw line, make some points. So I like the big men play so far.
And number 20, Bradley Eugene has it now. He gives it off to number 22, I believe, Chris Mondesir. He's off number 10, Preston Powell. Quickly to Taryn Rowland. Panthers have it in the offensive end. 2:50 remaining here in the game. Defensive foul by Anthony Gibbs, and actually DeAndre Gibbs. I believe no relation. I have to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure no relation. DeAndre Gibbs, Anthony Gibbs comes back into the game, and now checking also into the game is Yaw Brabi, number 24, and number 31, Benjamin Boateng, as Dwayne Bridie, as well as number 33, Alan Villar, take a seat. And you see Brabi as well as Boateng, both freshmen, 6'5". Rolling at the line for 2 shots. 1 and he misses the first. 69-39. Baruch lead by 30 here in blowout fashion. Anthony Gibbs has it now for the Bearcats. Gives it off to number 24, Brabi. Ooh, nice pass there by Benjamin Boateng. Back door to Georgios Zavos. And now we see some real size in there. When you're talking about we have Zavos, we have Boateng at 6'5", Brabi 6'3". Corner 3 now for Preston Powell. That's an air ball. Rebounded by Roland. Oh, nice defense there. And it's going to be a foul. Waiting for the call here from the referees. But Boateng, Zavos, Brabi, and both Gibbs are in the game right now. So you definitely have some size with Zavos, Brabi, and Boateng, in the front court.
And it looks like you have the future all freshmen playing on the court right now in garbage time. We love to see them work together. You look like this is going to be the second union that's going to lead Baruch in the next couple of years. So it was good to see them play and get some minutes, and have good communication on that last play. It was very good.
And all of our healthy players are playing right now. The only scratch we have tonight is freshman center, number 21, Matthew Grossman out of Australia. So everyone has gotten minutes tonight. Rebound there by Georgios Zavos. And Baruch have a 31-point lead with 2 minutes remaining. Not necessarily the barn burner we expected on the first televised broadcast. However, it's the result we wanted to see for sure.
Yes.
Definitely as the first broadcast on YouTube. It's a nice play there by number 20, Bradley Eugene, trying to throw the ball off number 10, DeAndre Gibbs. However, it went off Eugene last, and it'll stay with Baruch right in front of us. 2 minutes and a second left. Baruch have 16 remaining on the shot clock. Inbound to DeAndre Gibbs. Hand check on number 11, Taryn Rowland, and it'll be DeAndre Gibbs going to the line.
DeAndre Gibbs, 2 shots.
He misses the first. And if we see the second one, it'll be DeAndre Gibbs' first points here at Baruch. Ooh, and he misses the second one. I might have just jinxed him, fellas. I'm sorry about that. Taryn Rowland brings it into the front court for College of Old Westbury. Gives it off to number 20, Bradley Eugene. Hand off to Preston Powell. Powell now to Baker. Baker swings it around to Mondesir. Air ball rebounded there by Yaw Brabi. Sorry, that was actually Benjamin Boateng, number 31. And Anthony Gibbs quickly into the front court. Gives it this time to Brabi. Brabi's jumper is air ball. And it's rebounded by College of Old Westbury by Bradley Eugene quickly to Taryn Rowland into the front court. Rowland gives it off to Mondesir. Mondesir tries to make a nice little play there up and under, and he's fouled. Fouls on number 31, Benjamin Boateng. And 22, Chris Mondesir of the Panthers will go to the line to shoot 2. 71-40 with 1:26 remaining. You're listening to Bearcats basketball on 590 AM as well as YouTube at Baruch Athletics Fan. For all the latest information on Baruch College Athletics, please visit us or follow us on Twitter, Baruch Athletics, Facebook, Snapchat, or Instagram for all your stats, scores, and updates. Number 22, Mondesir, misses the first. This has to be one of the games that even both teams, but more, say, obviously College of Old Westbury, just waiting for the time to run out. Because at this point, you're just going through the motions.
Right. I mean, at this point, there's nothing left to play for. It's just to finish the game strong, like you said. There's a lot of players on the court, or even on Old Westbury, could show the coaching side something. Maybe want to put them in the game next couple of games, give them more minutes. But so far, the Baruch Bearcats, they have just blown this game out.
Ooh, 71-41. Nice pass there by Anthony Gibbs to Benjamin Boateng, and he's unable to finish on the layup. But now he actually fouls behind the play, and it'll be 2 shots now for the College of Old Westbury Panthers. It'll be number 15, Khalil Wilson from Roosevelt, New York. Roosevelt High School, shooting 2 shots. Off on the first, and Baruch keep intact their 30-point lead. And he knocks down the second. So Anthony Gibbs brings it to the front court. Quick pass up front to Yaw Brabi. Yaw to Zavos. Georgios Zavos gives it off to Gibbs, and now he's calling out the plays. Up top to Georgios Zavos looking for a pass. Georgios Zavos gets fouled on the block there. Fouls on number 15, Khalil Wilson. And it'll be Zavos now for 2 shots. 51 seconds left. And Baruch lead by 29 with a chance to extend.
Yep, just waiting for this clock to wind down because this one is over.
Off on the first is Zavos. And he's off on the second. Short there. Khalil Wilson comes down with the rebound, gives it off to Taryn Rowland and quickly into the front court. He goes right to the rim. Right-handed lay-on is good. 71-44 with 44.5 left. And they're still with the full court press as College of Old Westbury, and they foul Anthony Gibbs. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I don't know what the foul was for. Maybe you just guys let the guy get over. I guess, like they said, they're playing for more minutes. But a foul like that doesn't really get you more notice from the team.
Anthony Gibbs knocks it down. I mean, at this point, you're probably just fouling to let him shoot some free throws, get a couple extra possessions. But
Right.
I think the fans want to see them just run out the clock a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's been especially the old Westbury faithful.
Especially with no possible chance to come back.
Taryn Rowland has it now in the front court. Khalil Wilson, crossover move. Trying to give it inside. Almost thrown away there by College of Old Westbury. Back to Taryn Rowland. 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Takes a pick now. Doesn't use it by Baker. Outside to Preston Powell. Powell trying to find some open man. Khalil Wilson now up top. He drives against two. Gets blocked. Ooh, looks like clean for Benjamin Boateng. Late whistle, and it'll be number 15, Khalil Wilson, going to the line.
I don't agree with that call from the ref. You seen he extended his hand, got the clean block. I don't know what the ref saw, but he called it a foul.
Khalil Wilson, 2 shots.
(72-44) with 16.9 seconds remaining. You'd assume these would be the last free throws of the game, and Baruch would just dribble out the clock here to move to 4-0 on the season and keep their undefeated streak going. On the other side, College of Westbury starting the season 0-2 after this game. And for a team that went to the tournament last year, not the start you wanted to see, and definitely you seem to not really have that much fluidity on offense.
Right, everything heavily relied on Jamel Stanley. And you see the other players got some points and they were able to get off a little bit. But Stanley, if he doesn't play strong for Old Westbury, they're in for a long night because the rest of the team does not have enough to actually complement what he brings if he's having an off night. And tonight you could clearly see he had an off night going. Jamel Stanley going 5 for 14, 13 points. Like you said, a quiet double-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds. But after that, not really much from the rest of the team. You have You have Taryn Rowland coming in shooting 4 for 13. You have Stephen Otto shooting 2 for 11. You just can't get it done against a team like Baruch if you're going to come and shoot in those type of numbers.
And this will do it. A big win for the Bearcats. Final score here at the Arc Arena. Baruch 72, College of Old Westbury 46. And a big, big win and another win to start out the season. Nice win for Baruch. We talked about it was going to be a big test, and they came out and they definitely they didn't match the energy. They blew the energy out of the water. It definitely would take advantage right from the jump, coming out, I believe, to I believe it was a 15-point lead to start.
Yeah, and almost 30 at the end. I mean, you don't want to say that the Ekekobar's game kind of wouldn't matter in this sense, because when you have such a big lead, you could technically take out half of the points that Chima had throughout the course of the game and say they still would have won. I think it was a very cohesive team effort. They played very good defense. Their bigs were able to get some rebounds. They scored when they need to. They fouled when they need to. I think it was perfect.
Congratulations, buddy. Chief Ekekobar showing the staff some love here. Big game, since we just mentioned him, big game for Chima tonight. 28 points, 12 boards, and surprisingly, his lowest minute total of the season. Only 32 minutes.
I love how we could say only. I love how we could say only 32 minutes.
He only played 3/4 of the game, and that was a light night for him. But we appreciate him coming on the show last week, and we appreciate what he's doing for Baruch basketball. And like he said last week on the show, and we brought it up before, when he feels like he's getting called out, and not necessarily called out verbally, but called out on
indirectly
in his matchup, knowing that the matchup was going to be big, he came out and, on the big stage, he made a great play. And Chima Ekekobar, huge game tonight, 28 and 12. Also want to give him a congratulations. This past week, as Jamal said in the pregame, he moved to become the 22nd player all-time in Baruch history to score 1,000 points. And you'd have to think, at this pace, he's going to be easily in the top 5 by the time his career is over. I mean, he still has another year on top of this, and we're only in the 3rd, 4th game of this year.
Yeah, so far he said, like he said last week, he doesn't really look at the accolades. He doesn't really look at all of the stuff that could cloud everything. He just continuously go out and play basketball. And when you continuously go out and play basketball, work hard, and be true to your craft, you get, you get rewarded. 1,000-point club, that's a very illustrious honor to be a part of, and I'm happy for him.
And he has 1,030 now because he dropped 28 tonight. So monstrous game.
Realistically speaking, it's not unrealistic here that we're talking about maybe the first 2,000-point player in Baruch history.
At least 16, 17, 1,800.
Right, he's halfway there at 1,000 already. We're only at the beginning of this season. Who knows?
Yeah, I agree with you completely there, Serge. But let's talk about this Baruch defense. And I think they came out today, played a great game. I mean, you're talking about a Baruch defense that held them to 25% shooting. College of Westbury shot 5% from three.
I just looked at that. And also, they limit them to 25.8% from the field. I mean, when you can limit a team like Old Westbury, who was the Skyline Conference champions last year, to only 25.8% shooting, 5% from the three-pointer, and actually out-rebound them by 7.
And only allow one 6 player in double figures, being Jamal Stanley.
And it's kind of interesting because they're both tied with turnovers. They're both 16-16 on turnovers, but you can see that Baruch capitalized a little more. They had 9 more assists than them. They had 6 more bench points than them, and they eventually pulled away late. I mean, Coach Alisi must have said a great speech to his team, his staff, right before they came out for the second half because they started scoring and they never turned back.
Yeah, and, we're talking about their defense. You start out with that type of run. At that point, it's almost you have to win at that point. You can't be blowing 18 points, even though it's first half lead. You can't be blowing an 18-point lead and expecting. And then obviously they get it up to 30 in the 30s in the second half. However, the fact that they kept their foot on the gas and kept on rolling, and you look at this Baruch team. Granted, Chima had the 28, monstrous game. He had half the points. But you got it, honestly, you didn't have too many guys in double figures, but you had George Smith with 9 boards. Dorian Isaac had 9 boards and 8 assists. Big game for him. And you had Alex Matina with 7. Sure, it was a nice 7, but he also adds in a few rebounds. He's able to get to the free throw line. And that's another thing. Baruch got to the line tonight and shot pretty well from the line themselves.
Yeah, and also it's kind of ironic that both Baruch and Old Westbury scored the same amount of points in both halves. You had Old Westbury scoring 23 and 23 in the first and the second half, and Baruch scoring 36 and 36 in both halves. So it seems like they both came out and did the same exact thing, and they both have the same game plan, and Baruch just executed theirs better.
Yeah, and then once again, most impressive thing about Baruch is they didn't trail at all during the entire game, taking the lead 55 seconds into the game and not looking back. Had the lead for 39:05.
And the defense was off to a very strong start as well. I think they went the first 6.5 minutes without allowing Old Westbury to score at all. And the first time they did score was on a free throw. So if we're talking about actually scoring not from behind the line, we're talking almost 8 minutes of solid defense. So I think that it was very cohesive gameplay today. They played well on both sides of the ball, scoring when they needed to and playing really, really top-notch defense.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said there, Serge. And very dominant performance. Had to like what you've seen. We're probably, truthfully, not going to be back here until it looks like December the 5th for women's basketball against New Jersey City University. The women, actually Victoria Ganzi also joining the 1,000-point club this past weekend, so congratulations to her. But yeah, we're definitely interested. We're definitely going to do some women's basketball this year as well, a little bit more, because I think our schedule is a little bit more flexible. I think we didn't do as much as we wanted to last year. That's definitely for sure. But I think this year, between Victoria Ganzi, I think we have some talent. Obviously, 0-3 start, not really the way you want it to go. They do have a couple games before we see them for the City College game. Sorry, the New Jersey City game. They have actually 3 games on the road next week. And we will see where they at when New Jersey City College comes in. But between Jacqueline Kennedy and Veronica Ganzi, you're definitely going to have that scoring. So we'll definitely be back for that game. But that's about to do it for us here at Baruch College. I just wanted to let you know we also have Justin Gourneau tomorrow night. Like I said, Sergio unfortunately is not going to be able to come in. However, Jamal will be with me tomorrow, 5 to 7 on WBMB 94.3 FM. This broadcast has been in conjunction with the Baruch Athletic Department as well as Baruch College and WBMB Radio. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate the 2 guys next to me for joining me on the very first simulcast on YouTube. And once again, your final score, Baruch 72, Old College of Westbury 46. For Jamal Chapman and Sergio Gourneau, I'm David Just. Have a great night, everybody.
Peace out, guys.
Good night, New York. Kill it. Kill it.